Hello and welcome to the Math Resource Showcase. I'm Amber Soto. I'm the Director of Mathematics for iLead Schools, and I'm also your host. For the past couple weeks, we've been uploading videos to showcase different strategies that could be used with math. For the first week, we looked at the strategy of which one doesn't belong, and last week we focused on estimation in general. This week, I want to focus on something called three-act math. Three-act math is something that was made popular by a man named Dan Meyer, and though a lot of people have used it, he was the one that started it, so I want to go to his blog page to start it off. It's blog.mrmeyer.com, and you'll see across the top over here, there's a tab, Three-Act Math. We're going to click on that, and it brings up this whole lovely spreadsheet with a whole bunch of different three-act math, and they're all linked to standards. So what does that mean, three acts? Well, I think it's easiest if I just show you. So I'm going to show you one of my favorites. It's called sugar packets. This one I'm going to walk through with you, and then I'll pose one for you to try on your own. Okay, so the idea behind three-act math is that there are three acts. Act one is usually some kind of thing to help pose a question for the math. It's the setup, really. Act two is the tools needed to be able to dig into the question that's being asked. And Act three is the final reveal. It's the answer so that you can check your work, okay? So instead of me trying to explain it, let's look at it. Let's look at the video for Act one of Sugar Packets. Enjoy. All right, so you can kind of see where this is going, right? So along with Act one, there's a couple different questions. So question number one, how many sugar packets do you think are inside a 20-ounce bottle of soda? The other questions are just go along with all the things we worked on with estimation before. So guess as close as you can, give an answer you know is too high, and give an answer you know is too low. So we're kind of bringing those skills together. All right, so Act two, what information will you need to know to solve the problem? So they give two things. The first one is the sugar content of a 20-ounce bottle of Coca-Cola. So here's the label on the back. We can look at reading the label, but most importantly for this, we're looking at sugars here, 65 grams. All right, and then the other thing they give is the sugar content of a packet of sugar. So again, we're reading labels. We're looking at sugars here, 4 grams, and then we have to do some math to figure out how many of these would be in a bottle to have the same sugar content. Okay, and so if you want to do this at this point, you're welcome to pause the video and try it on your own. But because this is the one I was more just walking through with you so you could see how they work, I'm going to show you the answer right now. Okay, so here it comes, the reveal. Once you've done all that math, here's where we come out. All right, so you can see there's all kinds of things you can do with that, let alone the math involved, but you can start talking about nutrition and health and different things that could go into this. You can also extend it. You can see here they have the sequel. What kind of food is the equivalent of 50 sugar packets? You could talk about other drinks. You can have compare and contrast of what's out there. These are the types of things that kind of start off simple so that we can explore it and grow it wide. So now that you've kind of seen how one works, what do you think? Is this something that makes sense to you? All right, so now that you kind of see how it rolls out, I want to pose one for you to do of your own. So I'm going to stick with Mr. Meyer, but I'm going to go to Bucky the Badger. All right, so Bucky the Badger, I'm going to show you Act 1. So here it comes. Enjoy.
Since it turns out we like reporting on cheating in sports, here's today's Is It Cheating news. When the University of Wisconsin football team scores, the team and all its fans are very happy. The mascot for the team, Bucky the Badger, I'm sure is also happy. But that happiness is tempered because every time new points go up on the Wisconsin scoreboard, Bucky Badger, the mascot, has to do push-ups for every point that Wisconsin has put on the board. So Wisconsin scores a touchdown and an extra point, Bucky does 7 push-ups. Then they score a field goal. The Wisconsin score goes from 7 to 10, and Bucky does 10 push-ups. 10 more push-ups, I should say. If Wisconsin then scores another touchdown, an extra point, and their score goes to 17, Bucky then does 17 more push-ups, putting his total push-up tally by that point of the game up to 34. Here's the problem, which has given rise to the mystery. On Saturday, the Wisconsin football team scored 83 points. Wisconsin 83, Indiana 20. Wisconsin scored 83 points.
All right. So again, you can kind of see where this is going, right? So we asked the questions and we asked for the estimation. So first, guess how many push-ups Bucky had to do over the entire game, and write down a number of push-ups you know is too high and too low. One important thing is in mathematics is getting kids to think about what the answer could be in advance, so that if they make mistakes in their arithmetic, it's a lot easier to catch. All right, Act 2, what information will you need to get an answer? Make sure that you talk about if the order of the scores matter. Tell them, you know, if you're talking with your kids, you can give them the order, but it'll take some time and they need to prove to you that it matters. So this is how we get into constructing and critiquing arguments, right? Okay, so for Act 2, these are the 2 things that you'll need. I'm going to play this video. If you need to pause it to take the information, feel free to do so.
11 touchdowns, 2 field goals.
All right, that's it. 11 touchdowns and 2 field goals. And if you get to the point where you realize if the order and the touchdown and the field goals matter, then we can dig into this one, which tells you the order. So here it is in its entirety. If that's difficult for you to read, let me bring it in a little closer, and then let's scroll through. Again, any of this information that you need to solve, feel free to pause and kind of take the information from the screen. Okay, I'm gonna slowly scroll through. All right, so that is all the information that you'll need. So tomorrow I'll do the solutions video where we'll look at what the Act 3 shows the answer to be. All right, I hope that this is exciting for you. It's exciting for me. And I hope that, as always, you're having fun with the math and making connections, and you're really just enjoying the process. Okay, have a beautiful day. And as always, happy mathing.